Mick Phillpot, one of the biggest piece of shits that I've covered on this channel in a long time. This man, who had 19 kids, is accused and convicted of killing 6 of those kids in a house fire that he started. But his whole plan wasn't to kill them. It was to blame him on an ex-wife. Go in the house, rescue the 6 kids, yet they all would die from the fire. Not only was he crying on a charity and benefit hearing as he sat there thanking everybody with a straight face and those crocodile tears, this piece of shit on the 911 is acting like he's panicking. Oh, but how we know these pieces of shits get caught up. And then what happens? They go to prison. And this man who has stabbed women, beat women, had 3 kids with a 14-year-old girl, beat her as well. See, a woman walked away from him after being brutally abused for years and years. And he couldn't handle that. One, he's never worked a job in his life. He blames it on his kids and his criminal record, which is stabbing a woman 27 times. When he lost control and a meal ticket, he decided to blame it all on her. This one here is beyond fucked up, and the ass whooping he got was well deserved. Let's get into it. Now, I'm about to read everything from his history, his charges, as I always do, but let's watch this video first of when he found out his children were killed in the house fire, so you can understand the level of coward
helping us to cope with what's going on. And then there's a young lad called Daniel Stevenson who tried to get in the house the same as myself, Joe across the road, and the Butler brothers. And of course there's the poor firemen, the police, and the ambulances, the doctors, the nurses, literally everybody who tried to help save our children. They couldn't. Excuse me a minute.
Wow. So now you guys understand. Let's take it back to the early days of this coward. In 1978, Phillpot the coward, then's girlfriend, Kim Hill, ended their relationship, prompting a violent response. He broke into her home and stabbed her 27 times. Her mother intervened and was also stabbed 11 times. Both survived. Phillpot was convicted of attempted murder and grievous bodily harm, receiving only a 7-year sentence and only serving 3 years. Look, I know what I did was wrong, robbing drug dealers and fighting and living wild as a young man. But why is it that I did all of my 20s on my first adult charge in prison? And these dudes are cowards going after innocent women because they can't handle rejection, and they're doing a couple months. Then there's Heather Kehoe. In the mid-1990s, Phillpot began a relationship with a 14-year-old girl, Heather Kehoe, who bore him 2 sons. He subjected her to severe abuse, assaulting her for not bearing a daughter and encouraging their sons to be violent towards her. Heather eventually fled with their children in early 2000. This piece of shit would then go on to marry Pamela Lomax, with whom he had 3 children during their approximately 10-year marriage. He was physically abusive, leading to their eventual separation. Phillpot fathered 17 children with multiple women. He lived a highly publicized life, notably cohabitating with his wife, Ma Reed, and his mistress, Lisa Willis, along with their collective children, in a council house in Derby. The unconventional arrangement drew media attention, leading to appearances on shows like The Jeremy Kyle Show, a documentary with former government minister Ann Whitcomb. If you don't know what The Jeremy Kyle Show is, it was basically the Jerry Springer Show, but like the B-rated version. So this is him on there.
About the guy who has been branded Britain's biggest scoundrel. You don't work.
Oh, yes, I do work.
Yeah, I know your argument on this. Just give it to us. You say I look after my kids. What's wrong with a man looking after his kids other than a woman?
That's correct. What is wrong with a man looking after his children? I mean, I'm old-fashioned. I believe the man should be at work, but unfortunately, because the media keeps putting this certain story in the paper, I cannot get a job.
You can't get a job because...
So we obviously see a pattern here. This dude's a coward, a womanizer, just a straight, soft little sissy boy. We see it. We know the type, right? Just weak and codependent. And like I said before, he had 17 kids right here. No, he really had 15 that were his by blood. The other 2, he got through a relationship where he beat the girl so bad that she was forced to leave those kids with him, and she had to file for custody, where she eventually lost. All this because he doesn't want to work a job. He's insecure. He goes after people in vulnerable situations, young girls, not women, girls, beats them, scares them, stab them. But this is just the beginning of his life. We haven't even got to why he's in prison getting the shit beat out of him. In 1991, assault conviction. Phillpot was discharged from the British Army and received a 2-year conditional discharge where he headbutted a colleague. 2010, domestic violence. Phillpot had been given a police caution after slapping his wife, Mary Reed, and dragging her outside by her hair. So let me get this straight. This man has stabbed women, beat women, choked women, everything, beat up his co-workers. Yet he's done a maximum of 3 years and the children are allowed to be there. It just doesn't make sense, man. I robbed one drug dealer. They sent me away for all of my 20s. This dude is a menace to society, a victimizer, goes after the weak in our society, and he gets rewarded. He gets a reality TV show. The abuse towards May Reed Phillpot. May Reed, who came from a troubled background, viewed Phillpot as her guardian angel. However, he subjected her to severe control and abuse. Witnesses described her as being treated like a skivvy or a slave, enduring humiliation to appease him. Here we go. Lisa Willis. Phillpot began a relationship with the 18-year-old Lisa, who moved into his home along with his wife, Marie. Lisa has 5 children, 4 of whom were fathered by Phillpot. She testified that she was subjected to strict control, unable to go out alone, and faced questioning about her activities. In the early 2002, shortly after moving in, Phillpot struck her multiple times with a piece of wood. Yeah, but you notice when he goes to prison, there's no control and abuse on those inmates, people he can't victimize. The victimizers become victims in prison. The control and abuse in the household. Phillpot maintained strict control over the women in his household. Both Mary Reed and Lisa worked, but he insisted on driving them to and from their workplaces, and their salaries and benefits were paid into his bank account. He restricted their movements, forbidding them from going out alone or shopping independently. We know the type, for real. Weak motherfuckers. So what does this piece of shit do? You know, he was tired of, beating the women and enslaving them. So, taking their money and never working. So what does he want to do? He comes up with this plan in early 2012. Mick Phillpot's domestic arrangements included his wife, Marie, and his mistress, Lisa Willis, all residing together in his Derby home. This unconventional setup unraveled when Willis left in 2012, taking her 5 children, 4 of whom were fathered by Phillpot. This departure deeply unsettled Phillpot as he lost not only personal control over Willis, but also associated child benefits. Coward, man. Facing a custody battle, seeking to regain control, Phillpot devised a plan to set fire to his own home, intending to frame Willis for arson. The objective was to portray Willis as a threat, thereby discrediting her and regaining custody of the children. I don't believe that for one fucking second. I really don't. So when this fire goes off, this is the 911 call.
Mrs. Phillpot. How many kids are in the house, Mrs. Phillpot? Where are they? 6 of them. Sorry? 6 of them. I can't get them back in the kitchen. 6 of them. Michael, can you see any flames? No, I can see that smoke. I can't see anything else than that smoke.
Reed and their friend Paul Mosley ignited a fire in the hallway of their residence at 18 Victoria Road, Derby. The plan was for Phillpot to heroically rescue the children, thereby incriminating Willis. Tragically, the fire rapidly escalated, leading to the deaths of the 6 children: Dwayne 13, Jade 10, John 9, Jack 7, Jesse 6, and Jaden 5. Rest in peace. But Phillpot knew he could do what he always does and blame it on a woman, right? That's what he does. Right. I mean, he just killed 6 kids. It has to be the woman's fault, right? He would get caught on a wiretap as he tried to manipulate authorities into viewing Willis as the perpetrator.
What? No, something. Have they got any evidence on you? They've got nothing on me. Nothing.
What did you say? Tell me what you said to him, man. What did you say about how many times I went up ladders?
They only gave him 6 manslaughters for those children, not murders, none of that. 6 manslaughters. He got sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 15. So it only makes sense that an inmate would catch him accidentally coming out of his cell where the door shouldn't have been open, beat him with a metal container inside of a sock where he was battered, bruised, had a concussion, had a broken jaw, loss of vision, and a broken rib. He's gonna die 1,000 deaths as a coward. Stay out, stay free, us.